Yeah.
Today we're gonna try bouldering. This is not a typical video that you would normally find on my channel about coding, but from time to time I like making completely random videos that somehow are related to software development. My hobby slash favorite sport that I started doing around 2.5 years ago, which is called bouldering. It's a form of climbing, but without a rope and with a shorter route, although more technical one. And at some point, I actually realized it's a lot like programming. I could really draw 5 parallels. The first one being problem solving skills. You see, in bouldering, before you actually start climbing on the wall, you need to analyze the route, meaning you kind of need to predict where you could potentially put your legs and your arms and where you would lean your body to have a perfect balance. It's kind of like programming where you don't start coding right away, so your solution might be easy or difficult, but still you need some initial plan and kind of foresee the future obstacles. It's also very common to break a long route into smaller sections in bouldering. Let's say if you can manage the whole section at once, you can do the first half first and then give it a bit of time and do the second one, which is very similar to programming where we incrementally build or debug a problem. The second point that I actually realized was resilience and persistence. It happened to me so many times during software development where a tiny problem that I thought was easy took me a day or even longer, and this would simply make me anxious. And you can actually apply the same thing to bouldering. And what I learned is before giving up or getting angry and anxious, you can actually try to climb the wall 10 times before you give up or simply say, today is not my day. Now, when we take it to software development, you can literally take a walk outside and come back to solving the issue that you were facing. Trust me, it works. The third parallel I could draw is focus and concentration. I'm going to tell you how to do that effectively. So in software development, I usually try to tunnel when I'm working on a problem that really needs your focus. By tunneling, I mean not doing any calls, not writing back to your colleagues, as bad as it sounds. You really need to tunnel your vision and focus in on simply solving this problem. Of course, giving that you're doing it in a timely manner and there are no important questions or people that are waiting for your answer. Now, when it comes to bouldering, funny enough is that when you're climbing, your breath kind of slows down. You really forget everything that's around you. Sometimes you hear your friends screaming and cheering for you, but mostly you're on your own with the wall and with the problem that you're trying to solve, because the stakes are high. If you slip and you fall, you can actually hit your limbs or your head against the wall, which is not ideal, but we do usually hurt ourselves. That's why you really need to be focused there, as well as in software development, because every line plays a huge role. The fourth one is creativity. And as you know, software developers are usually creative features. Now, it depends on what kind of software development you do, but to be a great software developer, not just a good one, you really need to be able to think outside the box sometimes to be able to come up with the best solutions. Now, I literally took this and applied to bouldering because sometimes you need to analyze the route, try it, fail, and sometimes without asking your friends, you can actually find a completely different way. Sometimes you can simply lean against a wall or move your body weight to a different side, and suddenly the route that seemed so difficult is now easily doable. Now, the last point is teamwork and collaboration. There's a thing called betas in bouldering, meaning if you're trying to climb something and you fail, you can ask your friend for a beta who is going to tell you how exactly they climbed the route so that you know where to place your limbs when you try to do it. Now, it's very similar to programming where you actually need to actively reach out to people around you to be able to ask for help as well as know the best way to solve the problem. Because guess what? Your problem that you're solving now has already been definitely solved by someone else, or they at least have an idea how to help you. Now, in this case, I tried this dino jump. So dinos are basically the routes where you actually need to jump. And I failed, even though I actually did it last time. This time I simply hurt my hand. But look at my friend. He did it perfectly. And he even tried to do some pull-ups at the end. And that's why kudos for him. And actually, he was my cameraman. So thank you, Kadis.
Awesome.